Okay, we should be live. I am just realizing that I wish I had four monitors because it's the first time that I'm trying to do so many screens at the same time. And I have the chat
How many
very teeny
screens?
tiny. I have three monitors, but I have like the stream and
You
YouTube
have the
and the
Instagram,
call and
YouTube,
Insta
the call,
and also
the
Instagram.
StoryForge site.
Maybe five. I mean,
I
one
could
of them is
I
my
could
phone.
go on. I could maybe do the StoryForge Insta from my phone. I think it's connected.
I mean it's fine. If you want to join
Okay.
to the StoryForge Insta one with your phone with your scared CEO account, we can do double on Instagram as well. But no, it's because I have like the StoryForge and the YouTube on a split screen in my middle one, and it's like, oh, this is interesting. But hello, everyone. Hi, welcome. Woo! Hi, we are welcome to the hype up party for 30K in 30 days. I'm gonna turn the light on. I don't know why my lights are off. But we're very excited because I don't know, this is a cool event, and it has already gone so much like better in terms of like the amount of people that have participated, the amount of stories that have participated, the amount of words that we have written from last year's already. And I don't know, it's just very exciting. And today I have Sabrina with me. Hello, Sabrina.
Hi. For folks who don't know, I'm the CEO and co-founder of StoryForge. And I don't show up very often on these social things because I'm usually trying to make sure the company doesn't like burn out.
And for everyone that's on Instagram, I recommend you to go on YouTube because we're going to be sharing our screen once my phone decides to stay up. Hi, Faith. We're going to be sharing our screen and we're going to go over so many amazing Storyforge stories because today is all about you all. It's about your stories. It's about the progress that you have made during 30K in 30 days and the progress that we will continue to make together as a community. So you can see on the left right here that we have my Storyforge library, which is very cool. And in here, we're going to be showcasing the 30K 30 day stories that people have already reached out and asked us to feature. But also, we're gonna do a little impromptu scrolling and see what piques our attention of all the cool stuff. And I already have some on my shelves, but I'm not gonna tell you which ones there are. It's gonna be a surprise. So, first of all, I don't know. Is this putting you in the spot? I was gonna say put you in the spot, but like it's not in a mean way. I just wanted to ask you how you felt about 30K in 30 days so far since I did my spiel.
Me or the folks
You.
who are watching?
No, no, no. First to
Me.
you, cause it's. I mean, you are the Story Forge
I am.
creator. You
Yeah.
must be so
I
happy.
yeah, no. It's going well. I'm for me personally, it's not going well, but I'm really proud of all the people who are doing it right now on StoryForge and not on StoryForge, but the I found that trying to prioritize writing this month for me, what that looks like is poetry, and that's cool and wonderful, but it's not very good for a word count challenge. So
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I think that as long as we're writing, right? Like as long as we're doing something, we are I feel like part of 30K in 30 days, even though it's a word count challenge and even though it's like we want to reach 30K, I probably wouldn't have written a single word this month if it wasn't for 30K, just because of I don't know how busy I've been and all of stuff like that. And I have heard similar feedback. Hi, from people being like, you know what? At least I wrote 1,000 words. At least I wrote 2,000 words. Even if
yeah, it
I've
gives like a
yes,
reason, it gives like a motivation for
exactly.
folks to start. It's the little push that
It
sets them
is
down the path.
it is the little push and I love that so much. And I'm going to be actually the very annoying hi Instagram every 5 minutes because so many people are joining Instagram. And if you see this really weird, I have a heating pad because I period crabs, but like it looked very weird on Instagram, so I removed it. But we're on YouTube and we're sharing our screen and we're going to be reading StoryForge stories live. So I highly, highly recommend you to go to our YouTube channel. And I love you all. And if you stay here, you're going to hear my wonderful voice. But YouTube, you can also see Sabrina's face and the screen and all of cool stuff. So I do recommend you to come to YouTube, which I don't even know how many viewers we have because of how little screens I have. Oh, I can see a
let me
little
try
bit.
to make my screen. Maybe I can handle the YouTube comments, and then
No, no,
you
no.
can see.
I have the comments fine. It was the stats of the live
Ah,
stream, but it's okay. I got it. Okay. I guess. Without further ado, I always wanted to say this. I think I had never said it without further ado before. I see people say it in the movie. Let's check some stories. Do you want to check some stories, Sabrina?
I would love to.
Do you have any expectations about what like genre you feel like reading right now, or like what you think the stories are gonna look like or be like? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I've looked at a couple of them from the 30K in 30 days like circle, and I was very invested in I kind of realized it was a mistake because I started the first chapter, it would be like chapter 0 or chapter 1, and then I'd be like, "Wow, that was really good." And then I tried to continue reading and nothing else was there because it hadn't been written yet. So that was my mistake. I don't have any expectations, just that I've enjoyed what I've seen so far.
I like that. I started one. I'm not gonna say which one it is. Well, I actually started a few, but I started one specifically that was like, I am very surprised in a very good way that this is on StoryForge, because I wasn't expecting something that niche to be like, like we are still just baby StoryForge giving its first steps, and then I
Mhm.
was like, oh, this is like every everything that I want in life is in this story. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy. This is so. I don't know if the. It's just on point. We have our curated our community so good that we have something for every single person, and that's the reason why we're able to find stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that was very excited, and I'm not going to intentionally choose that story when we're choosing stories to see if you choose it. But I'm not gonna tell you what it is, and we'll see what happens. Maybe I will.
Oh, okay. Okay, sounds
So
good.
let's see. Actually, the let's see. The first story that we have is, I believe, Faith, which Faith is right here in the live stream. Everyone say have to Faith, and the story is called "The Fire Angels." Let's. What if I read the overview and then maybe you read the first few paragraphs, Sabrina? How does that
Okay, yeah, I
sound?
can do that. I can do that.
Okay, so the Fire Angels Angels, and it's by Faith L. And I'm going to put right here, in our YouTube video, where when I can find it. Okay, here it is. The title of the story and the author of the story, just to make sure that you can go ahead and check that out on StoryForge after we finish, and you can save all of these wonderful stories to your shelves. The the blurb of it is: if only finding the answer to getting a demon out of your sister was as easy to find as a quick Google search. Donna's life has never been easy, but just when it seemed like everything was on the up, Elaine became possessed by the demon Envy. By the demon Envy. Fighting bloodthirsty demons is not for the faint hearted, but she does have the advantage of Phoenix healing powers and a lot of fire inside her. She will do whatever it takes to get her little sister back. And it's an action and adventure dystopian fantasy thriller, which is actually very cool. It does have some content warnings that we probably won't get to, but in case you want to continue reading, it's physical or emotional abuse, blood and gore, and death and dying. And this is the cover, which I really think I think it's great. This touch of like the angel wings burning, that is really good. I would like to continue to the story. Okay, so far first impressions, I feel like this is very right up my alley. I I know what the story is about because I've spoken a little bit about it specifically, like in the little events that we have had on the Discord. So I am going knowing what's happening, but again, I know that it's right up my alley. So I'm very excited. Sabrina, you ready to read?
I'm ready. I'm
Woo!
ready. Okay.
Okay.
Prologue. The work of a demon hunter is never done. The darkness rolled in, a full moon raised in the sky, an autumn chill in the air. Kalida's crimson wings flapped as she walked confidently down a dimly lit street, her skin dark with warm undertones. She wore a low back crimson top that accommodated her wings. Her long red skirt swished at her ankles. Along the hem was a pattern of golden feathers that, along with the sunset gradient in her coiled hair, symbolized her as a fire angel. By day, a gym teacher, by night, a demon hunter.
Hell
That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
I had to interrupt. When did this woman sleep? That's what I was wondering. Not a lot. Ran on fumes and caffeine. On her hip, she held a special golden sword as a backup if fire was not an option. They loved the autumn and winter as the increased darkness had given them extra time to hunt humans. She glanced at her watch. The face read 27 minutes past 7. Thus far, it had been quiet, but she knew better than to let her guard down. Ah! I don't know what that scream's
I
supposed
think
to sound like.
that
Is
sounded
that her? Is that
perfect.
someone else? I don't know. She she jolted. That sounded like a terrified child. Oh, I should
Oh,
have
okay.
done.
Ah!
She jolted. That sounded like a terrified child. She ran, jumped, and flew across to the source of the sound. Indeed, there was a demon, the embodiment of envy. Ghostly white skin, red zigzag and curved markings, spiky green hair. She had very minimal clothing with a black crop top and shorts. These descriptions, have you thought about doing a graphic novel?
Right? It sounds like
Because,
it. Well, I mean, Faith, I don't know if you have seen, but she's also an illustrator, so she has illustrated a little
really?
bit of the characters and everything. I mean, I know everything about the community.
So yes,
It's
I
really
haven't
cool.
seen
It's
that.
really cool.
I'm just like, this is begging to be drawn. I
It is
gotta say,
begging to be
okay.
drawn. I think I haven't seen specific scenes of this story drawn, but Faith, you should draw this. Like, specifically the beginning. Everything
Yeah,
else
no,
too, but like, you should start drawing the beginning.
it's dynamic. I'm getting so many descriptions about what people are wearing and how they're looking, and I'm like, "Ugh, I bet this would look amazing.
It
Okay,
would look so
okay.
good. Okay.
Uh, she growled and was as she was about to bite down on the mother's neck. Kalita kicked the door open. Get behind me, kid. The
Yeah.
boy scrambled to his feet and hid behind her, his skin white as snow, with a few freckles sprinkled on his cheek and nose and vibrant orange hair. Fire Angel! Envy hissed and launched towards her. Kalita twirled out of the door. I am!
Hell yeah.
Envy bared her pointed teeth.
I love that.
Fantastic.
Do you want
Sometimes
to?
we should meet each other and I'll be like, Beatrice! And you'll be like, I
I am.
am!
Oh my god, I love
Yeah!
that.
It's actually pretty cool.
I
All right.
am. That is so
I am.
powerful. I know you're very invested. Do you want to keep going for a little bit? Do you want to go to see if we can do as
I
many
want to make sure we
stories?
get to lots
Yeah,
of people's
yeah.
stories.
I me too. I was like already so invested on
And no, because there's 12,000 words to read. I could keep
Yeah.
going.
Okay,
And I
everyone
need to
that
cut
has
it off.
loved this story, you need to add it to your shelves. Remember the title is right here under us. That is the title that's going to be in every single one of the stories. So you can add every single one for your shelves because guess what? Seasons readings is coming, baby, and you're going to get a lot of time to read every single one of these and getting prizes for reading. Like who gives out prizes for reading? We do, and it's gonna be amazing. And I'm so excited.
Yes, we do.
Hell yeah! So I mean, I think we really like this. I think we're gonna like everything. But first impressions, I think that the beginning is very strong. I really like starting in the action. I feel like the visuals are very, very good, and I can get immersed on it very quickly.
Mm. I like that there's kind of an element of like mystery. There's a there's a cool character introduced. Like that's I mean, it's always nice when you have like a super sweet uh mysterious, person walking through the night as like your opening scene. Like, I'm a
It's
sucker
cool.
for
It
it. I
is really
gotta say,
cool.
that's how they started the Shadowhunters TV show, like the same sort of thing. And I was like a sucker for
Yeah.
it there too.
It's like,
So
yeah. I
you
love
can't go
that.
wrong there. But seriously, there's so many descriptions of the outfits. I would love to see some art for it. I know that like there's not a good way to show it on StoryForge, but like if you share more to the I'll check the StoryForge chat and we can see if there's any fan art that
Well,
shows up cuz
Faith
holy,
actually has said
it's so
in
pretty.
the chat really cool that that opening scene is on the to do list to draw, so that's pretty good.
Oh, fantastic.
And also, she's shared a little bit of a teeny tiny spoiler, and it's that Kalida is going to be one of Donna's mentors. So we already know,
Oh,
yeah. So if
fantastic.
anything, it's like, oh no, I need to know what happens. So again, for
I'm glad
seasons
you're keeping
readings,
a list. I definitely want to go back to this one.
right? Like it's really cool. So yeah, very excited. Please, everyone, check the Fire Angels by Faith L on Storyforge. I'm going to do my story survey live, and I say that I did enjoy reading this. I would recommend this, and I want to read more stuff like this. And I'm gonna earn my 5 quills, and it's gonna be
Yay.
fantastic. So I'm going to like this, and I'm gonna add it to my shelf. The person that made the shelves is trying to see if I know how to use the shelves. Because he's in the
There
chat.
it is.
And I do have a 30K 30 days shelf because I'm smart. And when I can't sleep at night, that's what I do. The next story that we have is, oh, do you think you'll be? Of course, anytime. That was Faith. The next story is Color of the Sea by Crown of the Sky, and I will read the overview. This is just like the hook and the blurb are repeated, so I'm just gonna read the first paragraph because it's the same. 14-year-old Marisol, well, I don't know if it's Marisol or Marisol, I'm gonna say Marisol. 14-year-old Marisol lives by a bayfield filled with pollution. Burdened by chronic illness, she's an imaginative escapist who loves making sidewalk chalk art. When Sol finds a mysterious conch shell that instructs her to gather 8 magical pearls, she and her twin brother Raphael have to adventure around the world, meeting and battling sea spirits from diverse cultures in order to save their bay from pollution. I love this. This is Sol's last chance to finally be the hero she's dreamed of. But protecting the ocean is not as simple as she thought. Oh my god, this sounds great. It's giving me like the best flashbacks of like this anime that I used to really like, that was about like mermaids and they had superpowers, and it was like Sailor Moon but they were mermaids and they would sing. And this is healing my inner child.
Yeah, it makes me think about the Mermaid Magic show like a little bit. They also had magical
Oh,
pearls.
I
And I
love
think the
that.
enemy was also pollution, so
I
I've
love that.
also got
Let's
some
save the
nostalgia for it.
planet. I also
Yeah.
Tokyo Mew Mew is a very good other like well, in this case anime that the enemy is pollution, and like the whole goal is saving the planet thing. And the way that they did it in that show was that it was like aliens, but the aliens were the ones that were causing the planet to die, so they had to defeat the aliens. And it was like they brought the pollution as a kind of like making a metaphor for like the human beings destroying the planet. That was really cool too, and they also had superpowers. And they all, I think they were all like an animal that it was an endangered species.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It was great. It's pretty cool. It was like my favorite anime when I was like 11.
So what you're saying is it's a genre that exists and it's one that we both love. So
Yes, and I want to see this story animated. Specifically Color of the Sea. We want to see everything in Storyforge animated. Everyone, you need to support Storyforge so we can make an animation studio.
that would be complicated.
That would be extremely complicated.
Cool.
That
Okay,
would
okay.
be in like 10 years minimum, probably more. Okay, you can. I'll get locked in, I promise. I'm just too excited.
That's a good problem to have. Okay, okay. Chapter 1. The sun was baking and Are we going with Marisol?
I think so. I mean,
Marisol's hands were covered in chalk dust as she
yeah.
slowly outlined the shapes on the sidewalk, flowers and stars and moons and figures that even she herself could not name. Her knees pressed into the concrete uncomfortable. Ooh, I like that. I like that detail. She hardly noticed. With every stroke of the blue piece of chalk she was holding, a great magical ocean began to take shape. There were golden strands of sunlight following along with the dolphins and huge shell shaped clouds drifting across a sky filled with dragons. Her heart pounded. Her hand traced adventures like a sailboat on the waves. This is really neat language.
It's great.
Then a shadow fell across her and the daydream ended. Sol let her chalk slip out from her fingers. It was a familiar shadow. The worn backpack, the messy hair, the baggy t shirt. Hey, Sol, a voice said. She turned around to face him. Rafa. Raphael's eyes flitted over the drawings on the floor. What's up? The sea. He stared at her. Huh? The sea is up, Sol explained, pointing to her drawing. In this world, everything is backward, so the sky is under the sea. You're weird, he complained.
That is
All
such
right.
like good dialogue for like two kids. Be like, you're so weird.
Letting go of his backpack and plopping down beside her. His dark brown hair glinted with traces of blue and purple reflected from the sky, and his water bottle made a clanking noise when it came into contact with the pavement. Oh, I know exactly what that noise is. You're weirder. She started to put her chalk back in its box. Is it dinner already? It's so bright outside. Bright? What planet do you live on? She looked at the sky and was shocked to see that streaks of twilight had almost completely overtaken it. Hyperfixation. I got you.
Yeah.
Oh man. But her twin brother groaned. You have to stop doing that. Half the time you're completely lost in your own head. And and it's not right, Soul. You're 14, not 4. No, the grow up too fast argument.
No.
He grabbed her hand and pulled her to her feet. Soul let him do it. She knew he wasn't being serious. I feel like that's about as far as I for the while.
Okay. I like that. It's really good. I hate that I wanna, I mean, I love that I wanna read all of this, but I also hate that I don't have enough time to just sit down and read for like 8 hours straight. I think that this is really good, really strong. I really feel like you can see the characters' personalities from these little bits. And also, I am so enamored with the idea of like the blurb just completely got me. It did everything that a blurb has to do. I am here for the entire ride. I need to see this kid succeed saving the world. That this is a priority right now in my life.
I like some of the language in here. There's this one line that I just like I feel like I keep turning it over in my head. Her hand traced adventures like a sailboat on the
Yeah,
waves. I
this
mean like
that's beautiful.
what?
I'm gonna
I just
react
keep
to
like
that.
yeah, please do. Maybe I'll go back and do the same.
This is
It's a
such
nice
a
it's a nice
wonderful.
sentence and more than that I think this is more like speaking to my love of poetry, but it's something that I keep turning over and over again. I want to look at it from a bunch of different angles. Okay, you're writing it. I'll keep talking. Uh, um, the rest of it was also nice. I love the little detail about how the the concrete was uncomfortable because it's those little things that really put you into a story.
Yeah.
Um, I think that like not losing sight of the physical experience of what these people are, are in the middle of is wonderful. It's not just, oh, she was doing chalk drawing and it was really cool and she was there for a while. It's like, yeah, she was doing chalk drawing and her knees hurt. The concrete's uncomfortable.
And I feel like
It
that is very good for like just immersing readers in your story.
mhm.
I love that. That's what I had to say, and I interrupted you, and I feel bad now.
Oh no, you're good, you're good.
Oh, that's so cute. CJ just commented in the chat, "Oh my god, the neon confetti is so cool." In parentheses, the neon confetti is so cool because I commented on it, and well, you can see my screen, and then I have the neon pink cats, so they just started just like falling off. Our confetti is great. Everyone, go get some quills. Go do your daily task, so you get your quills and get your confetti. The confetti is pretty cool. Okay. Survey. I think I'm literally just going to say yes on every single story that we read. But honestly, I did enjoy reading it. I would recommend that. I want to read more from this person. And I want to keep adding this to my shelves because that's what I do when I want to read. And again, this is Colored the Sea. It's not Colors of the Sea. I am crazy. I butchered the title the first time. It's Colored the Sea by Crowns of the Sky. And we love this story so much. We love our authors so much, and you should support them. The next story is The Call by Nexus and has this little cute, like spiral. This is giving me like eerie vibes in like a good way. And actually, the content warning is death and dying, so maybe that's it. Okay. The overview. David goes to the last place his sister was for closure, but gets entangled in something he never suspected. It's been 3 years since she disappeared. I think this is a pretty good hook for a mystery, which it says right here action adventure mystery fantasy thriller, because it tells you just enough information for you to be like, okay, so what happened? But it's forcing you to read to figure out what happened. So I think it's
So yeah, I
smart for
think
it to
that
be that short.
this image is doing as much as the overview is to generate interest.
That's
I'm
true.
really impressed with the vibe that you found for it because it's like, ooh, I think okay, great. Like what I don't like I want to know more.
Yes. So it's like, what is this? Why is this important?
Yeah.
And if someone that's watching this really wants to read it, it almost has 30. Just kidding. It has
No, 3,000.
3,000 words. I can't read. I'm going to shut up and let Sabrina read.
Ha!
It's The Cult by Nexus. This is the reason why Sabrina's reading the long parts.
Oh my goodness. Okay. The hotel. A light fog had begun to cover the road, which made driving any further nearly impossible. Not that it mattered. David had reached his destination, the lone hotel that kept its doors open with dirty money. Ooh, that's a cool line.
Yeah.
The parking lot had a small scattering of cars, most of which belonged to the staff and the rest of the very few guests that had been unlucky enough to pull off the road there. He pulled into a parking spot close to the main entrance and sighed, leaning back in his seat. Looking up, the dull gray building barely stood out, except for the name of the company, which was green and in some audacious font. Why aren't they closed? He thought. 3 years ago, on this very same winding road that traveled along the mountains, his sister had stopped at this hotel. That was the last time anyone saw her. The hotel claimed they were not at fault. She was a grown woman after all. And if she had left and gotten lost, it was her own fault. Based on some of the findings, the police had reasons to suspect the hotel and its attendants, which led the hotel to be closed down for a few months during the investigation. During that month, the police had found some concerning evidence. The hotel had claimed that she had left, but the security footage never showed her leaving her room. If she had left, it would have been through the window, but that didn't explain why all of her items were still in her room. They never found her body.
Oh my god.
Despite everything, the hotel was able to open up again under new management, but a part of David wanted to see the waste of a building burned to ash. He took a deep breath, pushing the anger down. He came here to mourn, not to become a criminal. Good job, David.
Yeah.
Way to
David
restrain those
David chose to be
impulses.
the bigger person.
Good job, David. David got out of his car, and the cold air took its chance to spike through his body,
Ooh.
leaving him breathless for a few moments. He quickly made his way into the lobby, wondering how far one could run from here. A part of him was hopeful that after 3 years he would be able to lay his sister to rest. But it was hard to do when his brain wormed its way to hope that she could be alive, for as long as there was no body, she might still just be breathing. She might just still be breathing. There we go. The reception lady was nice and disgruntled enough to just ask the basic questions that seemed almost required for every hotel to ask, such as reservation, license plate number, and car color. What type of room would you like to stay in? Could I request a specific room number? She gave me a blank stare before replying. I don't see why not, sir. I would like room 22. Alrighty. I don't see why not,
Alrighty.
sir.
Yeah, she's just like, I don't know, man. Sure.
She typed something into the computer, and the rest of the exchange went how one would expect, though she did upcharge David, which he only grumbled about. He was getting the ability to see the room again. Ooh, I'm kind of nervous. I wanna
Yeah.
stop there. I feel
Okay,
like
okay,
that's a
okay, let's
good
stop there.
halting
Yeah.
point. I wanna.
If you want to
We're
know what
about to go
happened, then
into the
go
room where
read
his
the
sister
call by
disappeared.
Nexus. Go read the call by Nexus. These stories are so.
That was
Honestly,
good.
like, I don't know. I don't know, like, how we have managed to just, like, be found by so many cool, talented people. Like, it's crazy. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's so hard for me to find something I don't like on StoryForge. I have no explanation. I tend to get very hooked. I don't know if it's because like everyone's like very passionate about writing in the platform. Is usually whatever I see in Storyforge that I start reading, I get hooked very quickly and I enjoy it a lot. We have actually Kissa in the chat saying that they enjoy that this story sounds super good too. Like, yes, we have had like three stories that it's like, yep, I want to keep reading, and I think that's really cool.
This one in particular has got a spooky vibe to
I
it. It's very
know, I
suspenseful.
love it.
It's very suspenseful. I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? What
Yeah.
happened?
Uh,
You know what the worst thing about it being? I don't know how much in is this Nexus story? I don't know how
what?
much of a in there is. So it's possible that like, the author doesn't know what happened to the sister. And I really hope that's not true.
I mean,
But I'm intrigued.
by hearing Nexus speak, because we did, for the people that doesn't know, we did kind of like a, the people that don't know, I don't know how to speak, we did like an impromptu get unstuck event on our Discord that was manned by our scouts, and this is actually one of the scouts that was taking care of that event, and we were all just talking about our stories, and they actually helped me unstuck because I was very stuck for a specific detail of me making my life harder. But they they were able to help me figure out my thing. And Nexus was talking a little bit about their story, and they kind of do have like, they approach, if I remember correctly, things with an idea of what where they want things going, not necessarily like a perfect outliner and architect, but they probably know what's up with the sister at least.
Okay. Okay. That's good. I once this was, a story that I found on Archive of Our Own that was a mystery and it was done so well and it started getting good and the details of the plot started coming together and it never finished.
No!
It was last updated like 3 years ago and I'm still waiting and I'm really, really invested. Um, so I get nervous when I see a suspenseful story because I'm like, oh, I've been burned before, and I know that I really want to like find out what's gonna happen.
I love
So,
that. We also
but
have,
that's a good problem to have. That I'm really
I mean,
excited
yeah,
about the
honestly.
story.
We also have a special request from Kissa in the chat to give some feedback on Doll's Viper. So let's look for Doll's Viper before we just search on the stories on our own. I'm very excited
Okay, all
to
right.
see. Uh, Also, unfinished stories kill. I mean, yeah, like it's hard because especially like when it's something like this or very suspenseful and you're very invested, that you're like, ugh, it. I think it's like a very similar thing that when of like when you're watching a show and then it gets canceled. But in this case, it's like because you don't know what happened to the author. Like in most times, like the author could have just gotten bored and not like written anymore, but also like they could just be busy and not being able to continue. Like it just sucks because it like ah.
Yes.
Those Viper, here it is. Oh my god, that's also on my shelf, I think. I want to read everything. Okay, ready. It's Dulce Viper, and it's. I'm gonna put just the title that says 30K in 30 days, just so people can find it on StoryForge real quick. And let me put founder Emir as well. I probably am butchering that, and I apologize deeply. Let's see. I already like the story because it has a name that I like. Maya is also the name of one of my characters, and I love that girl. So I love this story. Okay, just kidding. Maya doesn't know how long she's been dead for. Oh shit, I love this. Wait. She knows that the world she once lived in is gone, replaced by a sprawling maze of graffiti laden streets in a concrete jungle. There's one thing that keeps her roaming this alien plane: a fighter boy, all knuckles and bruises and scrapes, clawing around deep in the underbelly of the criminal world. She burns to live again, and her keeper grants her this wish with one concise instruction: do not remember. Watching him fight made Maya feel alive again. His fist connected with raw skin once, twice, each time with a crunch that made her stomach lurch. Blood trickled down both boys' faces, clotting and leaving dry crimson crossed in its wake. And it's an action and adventure urban fantasy romance. And the tags are 30K in 30 Days 2025, mystery, fantasy, supernatural, paranormal, female lead, romance, tense, gang violence, and fight. I also think that this is very up my alley. See, it's so hard for me to. I mean, I love reading in general. I really love stories, and I am not very close off to almost any genre. So it is easy to please me with stories, but also all of these things sound really good.
Tense is right. Even from that overview, I'm like, oh my
It is
gosh.
tense. Well, you asked specifically for feedback, and even without reading the
Specifically.
story, I think that that is a very good blurb. I feel like you are promising people the vibes of the story without just like spoiling the entire thing, but the whole like, I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's going to happen next kind of situation.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna go for
Yes.
it. One. Watching him fight made Maya feel alive again. His fist connected with raw skin, once, twice, each time with a crunch that made her stomach lurch. Lurch is a good word. Um, Blood trickled down both boys' faces, clotting and leaving dried crimson crust in its wake. Maya didn't know ghosts could feel like this. When David threw the final punch, she leant forward, then drew back at the sickening thwack when his opponent's buzzed head hit the concrete. He stopped moving.
Oh shit.
Wiping his bloody mouth, I know, right? Wiping his bloody mouth with the back of his bandaged hand, Davy turned around to scout the area. She ducked back to hide, as if his pale blue eyes would be able to see her. Satisfied he'd won, Davy spat a mouthful of blood and saliva onto the gum-covered tarmac and ran from the scene, away from the other boy, who was beginning to stir. She fell away from the mortal world. The place she stood in now was plain, dark, devoid of any character or charm the living plane held. Fields of black sand surrounded her for as far as she could see, and as far as she could walk. And she'd spent a lot of time walking around in this desolate place. The sky above wore a black cloak without any of the stars it had adorned above the city she'd just come from. That's so cool. The sky above wore a
This is
black cloak.
very good writing.
Holy. I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, all right. Sorry, got distracted. Um, in short, it was inoffensive and boring. With a sigh, she sat and drew her hand across the sandy floor. The grains fell through her fingers and splattered down like the blood from David's mouth. I love the parallels that you're already setting up. Okay, okay. Smirking, she threw herself down and recalled the scene. It was so exciting. He lived a life of danger, taking each day by the neck and throttling it until it gave him the entertainment he craved. Every
Wow.
second counted to him, because every second could be his last. One wrong punch, and his life as he knew it was over. One crash on the motorbike he adored so much, and everything could end. By contrast, there was little concept of time to her. Maya could spend centuries in a second or a second in centuries and not feel any difference at all. You can't age without a physical body. She wore a vague form with pentadactyl limbs and something resembling a head on top, but even that was constantly shifting. Maya didn't remember how she'd died. Try as she might, her memory's farthest extent was the beginning of her time here, when she'd met her keeper. Ooh. Okay, sand swirled in endless circles around him, crawling up to cover him in a thick black cloak like millions of tiny ants. Without any arms, features, or distinguishable legs, the only thing about him that suggested sentience was the blink of shining golden circles where his eyes should be. Ooh, that's so spooky. Somehow, without any words exchanged, Maya knew he was the one that had brought her here. Why? Where am I? She stuttered. I need to go back. I need to get back to the fire coursing through her. The memories she felt with such passion faded away into the ethos like dirt down a drain. In no longer than a second, nothing mattered, and she understood she was dead.
Oh my god.
The sand around the base of his feet slowed its circling. Calm, she walked, drifted, forward. Logically, she knew her translucent blue form was alien. Her soft skin and mortal firmness were mere seconds away, yet she felt as though she'd already been here for decades. Ooh, that's so chilling. Who are you? Maya asked the figure. The sands drew up to form an arm, which rose through the air to the top of his head, where it tipped a form that resembled a hat. Deus, he said.
Oh
The
shit.
voice came from all around her with a you good there?
I'm dying. This is so good.
The voice came from all around her with a deep, resounding finality to it. Ooh, I feel like that's a
I feel
good
like that's a
stopping
good
point.
stop. Yeah. Oh my
Ooh,
god. Oh my.
gosh.
Kissa, you need to finish this story. You agreed that unfinished stories kill. And I need to read this from beginning to end. And I know you're in the chat and I know you're watching. So I am talking to you directly and looking at you in your eyes. I need this. Please. No, but in all seriousness, I feel like you have better words to find the feedback that you want to give than I have today, Sabrina. So do you want to start giving feedback first?
Yeah, I mean, feedback in general is kind of vague, so I'll just go with what I'm observing, what I'm seeing, unless there's a more specific request.
I'll let you know.
Um, okay. I really, really like that it started with the dramatic fight. Or like Maya watching this fight. That's the action sequence to draw us in. It gets us excited. It worked. It was vivid. The language, it made me like, Maya describes the stomach lurching, and I'm just like, ugh, oh, I know, like I can feel it. Like I know what that vibe is. Um, and then it talks about like this is why this is why watching this, even though it's so uncomfortable to Maya, is important. It's one of the few things actually like has consequence. It feels like the rest of it is so mundane and boring and dull. Even though it's the afterlife, there's not a lot happening. Um, so already in this very short time, you've given us a reason not only we've been introduced to two of the main characters, right? But also like we know why it's so important to Maya that this life of adventure continues. I'm wondering as a reader, just having gone through this first bit, I'm like, what happens if the life that she's watching is no longer that interesting? Like what if he like gets in an accident and goes in the hospital or something? Is that still going to be exciting to Maya? I'm curious. And also, there's this bit in the middle who's, I guess this is not feedback, this is just my reactions. I'm sorry. I'll give you feedback.
I think it's great.
But she's like, okay, so she's obviously like not uh very very worried after dying, and I'm wondering if we're ever going to learn like what exactly happened before this, this dull time, because I mean, the way it's set up, it could be that that's just what happens when you die. You just go to this other place. Oh, are there other ghosts? That's my other question. Is like, oh, okay, okay. The thing is that's so great about this is that it gives a lot of cool things, and it doesn't tell me hardly anything. That's one of the things that I'm loving about it the most, because I read this just here on this call, and all I have now are like, okay, I've got the sketch of your world. I want to know, are there other ghosts? Like, is the sky being without stars, is that like an afterlife thing, or is that significant and I just don't know that it is? Obviously there's the big question of who the heck is this Deus character. But like, even without that, there's a lot of things that make me want to uncover the next part of the story, or even the prior part that's not told about here. I think the pacing is really, really good. And that, even aside from that, the language, I mean, there are small details in here. Let's see. When David threw the final punch, she leaned forward, then drew back at the sickening thwack. Love that word, thwack.
Thwack!
Sickening thwack.
Amazing.
Fantastic. When his opponent's buzzed head hit the concrete, and I'm like, okay, that's great. That short phrase,
It tells so much
it
already.
tells so much. Yeah, I know a little bit more about the opponent. The buzzed head, it shares some details about who he's fighting and what kind of person would be fighting him, and then hit the concrete. Now I know more about where they're fighting in. We knew that it was, I think, a concrete jungle from the overview, but if I didn't read that and I just went right into the story, I could tell like what the setting is. So it's just, I
We
don't
are
have
in love.
any, yeah, I don't have any really big things that I would ask for you to change. I think that your pacing is fantastic. Maybe a little bit more of the fight at the beginning if I had to ask for anything, cuz it's cool, but like maybe we could see how I don't know, I'm trying to think. I've seen action sequences where the sequence itself is not that long, but the way that it's written is paced out in such a way that it feels like much longer. So like it'd be like something happens and then like a sentence underneath that's like, oh, that's not good. And then like a sentence underneath that continues the action, something like that, where the reaction to the fight is as much a part of the choreography of it itself. Um, I think that could be an interesting thing to include if you wanted to mess with it, but honestly, it's looking pretty good as it is.
Okay. I first of all, I think everything that Sabrina thinks. I think I'm not gonna repeat the whole thing that Sabrina said because again, she said it more eloquently than I can right now with my brain right now. Besides that, I think one of the things that I like the most is the language, the way that everything is described is so immersive in a way that I am there. Another thing that I wanted to point out, because for me as a reader, I feel like it's so crucial, is how much I am connecting to this character without like barely knowing anything about her. And it's just because of the way that like she sees the world that the generation is that I immediately believe every single thing that like the whole, it's what Sabrina says, I can see why she is so enamored with the idea of like looking at this guy fighting and everything because of how dull everything is around. And we know from the blurb and the tags and everything that it's going to be a romance, and it's like, yes, if I was a ghost in like this boring plane being miserable, and there was this cool guy just like living this amazing like adrenaline fueled life, I would get in love with it. And I like, even if it was with the idea of having a life as fueled with adrenaline as the guy is, even if it's not the person itself. And I just think that it's such a an interesting character dynamic that you're building from the very beginning, like the surroundings of the context as to how she's experiencing the other person, which makes everything way different than if it was like a normal person that just happens to cross this guy on the street. And well, that's very important in a romance, and we already know from the tags, blah blah blah. But you are contextualizing Maya in a very smart way. You're not necessarily over explaining who she is. If anything, you're obscuring that, which I think is it's going playing to your advantage. And you're just you're describing Maya like a sculpture, and we have a block, and every description of the context around her is chipping a little bit, so we start to see the her form. And I am guessing that only after the complete form is done, we'll be able to cut it in half and see what it's made of. But for right now, I am just fascinated how much I can connect to this character and the situation that she's in, knowing so little about her. And as a reader, I one of the reasons why I read is because I want to disconnect from reality, and I want to really, really be inside the story. And this is I want to like literally transport myself into the computer right now just so I can see everything happen like on front row, because that's how interesting, like fascinating this whole thing seems to me. And the characters, I usually like tend to have like deep connections to characters when I read, so this I love. I do want to read what Kissa said because it's very pretty. First of all, they said, I am 1 bajillion words behind on 30K right now, but I will finish. Trust! And trust is in all caps. Will trust. And also, thank you so much, guys. This actually means the world to me. And it honestly means the world to us that you are sharing this with us. I feel like it is
Oh,
very,
100%.
yeah.
Sharing your work is
Yeah,
scary as
it is
hell.
very obvious that this means a lot to you. It is very obvious that you put a lot, all of the stories that we have read, like it very obvious that you put a lot of care and effort into creating a world. And it's what Serena said, sharing your work is so scary. Sharing your having it read live like that, you came to the live stream and requested it, that takes a lot of courage, and I commend you for it. But I thank you, if anything. You know what I mean? For giving us the opportunity to find your story and to make it more accessible, not only to the people that are here in this moment, but for the people that are going to watch this video before like after the live stream ends, because this is staying in our YouTube channel forever. Um and I mean, if you want to come back to the feedback that we have given, which is all positive, really, you can just literally rewatch the video a million times. Yes, I was terrified while you were reading. I am so so glad you guys liked it. I don't know. I love it. Oh, one particular detail that I just saw just by seeing the computer that I remember I really liked that I didn't mention was the big form with pentadactyl limbs and something resembling a head. I think that that was such a smart description that it's you're just describing someone that looks very similar to a human, because pentadactyl is just like 5 fingers. But being describing it this way, you're able to separate and make the reader understand that this is something else. This is something beyond a normal human body. This is something strange and abstract, and it's going to look a little bit different for everyone. And again, I just think that that is a very intentional and very smart word choice. And you have a lot of little tidbits that we have seen, like what Sabrina had said, that the language itself is like, I know exactly what you meant for that. I know what that sound is. I know how this feels, and that is pretty good writing. I'm very impressed and I'm very happy.
I'm very curious how these two end up meeting. I want an actual conversation between the two. I'm very
I
curious.
need
I'll be
this.
reading more.
How long is this? I'm gonna scream. Okay, okay, 8,000. This
8,605
is
words.
literally, this is how I'm procrastinating, which I shouldn't say this in front of my quote unquote boss. But this is,
Quote unquote, I am your boss.
yeah, but like, I feel like you are more, that people don't like the word boss because boss is mean. And it's like, I feel like you are
Is
a
it?
leader. You are like,
Oh, thank
like,
you.
you're not like, Beatrice, you suck. You have to work exactly at the time that I used to. You're not that.
I
I
would
feel like,
never do that.
exactly. I feel like that's when people say boss. I feel like that's what people think. And when we interact and when we talk, it's like I just want to make sure that I'm making Sabrina proud, kind of
Oh,
thing. Of course. I don't
well,
know.
you're making me proud, and I'm actually very proud of all the people's stories that we read
Oh
today and all the
yes,
books that are
I'm
in
so
30K
proud of
that
everyone
we didn't get
too.
a chance to read today. I would like to do more of these events, actually. I really enjoyed seeing what the community has. There are some really talented people on StoryForge.
I'm super down of doing these things again. And I don't know, maybe we can get more people to give us their stories and then we can read them live and react. I think that would be fantastic. And even after 30K, we maybe perhaps we make this a like a
A
monthly
regular
thing.
thing?
Yeah.
I would love that.
That would be great because it's true. Like we have so many like super talented people, and we have the overlay already, so it's easy for like the sharing the screen and everything. And yeah, Fate said a nice boss. Yeah, Sabrina's a nice boss. Sabrina's the nicest boss I have ever had. So yeah,
Thanks.
saying that I'm going to procrastinate reading is not the most smart thing to do in front of your boss, but Sabrina is a nice boss. So she knows that I will get the things done after I
I
read.
might be procrastinating by reading this as well.
Kisa also said I would definitely be interested in this as a monthly event. Okay, perfect. I
Oh
like that a
yeah.
lot. I like that a lot, and again, it has been very hard for me to find something in Storyforge that I start reading and I don't want to continue reading. Usually, I'm
That's
just like so invested into all of the stories that I find that are obviously like up my alley. So thank you so much for everyone to for just existing here, for being part of Storyforge, for being part of 30K in 30 days. If you're seeing this in the future and 30K in 30 days has ended, still, please, we want to make this a monthly thing now. We have decided. Uh, Follow us on all socials so that way, whenever we're asking for stories, you definitely can apply. And share your stories in circles and with people and with us. And I don't know, just help us continue building this wonderful community of extremely creative and talented people that are doing really, really cool stuff like this. Also, I feel like it's at the service to Storyforge to not mention that we have an anthology of stories that are also great. That is called Voices Like This, that we recently published, and we're very happy about it because it's 20 Storyforge authors that we're just trying to bring to the world, and we want to continue doing things like this and publishing more authors in the future and just continue expanding the voice of how wonderfully talented you all are and how much we want the entire world to know as much as we know.
mhm, mhm.
So definitely get voices like this. I think I have it in my bookcase, so I don't have it to show. But if you go to storyforge.com/anthology, you'll be able to get it, and it's even on sale in our website if you want the ebook. So yeah, that was my little marketing moment, but I felt that it was important because we're talking about how talented our authors are, and that is another example. I don't know how to type. I put storyfrog.com like unironically.
It's
It
a very
happened.
common mistype. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. My assistant here brought me the book so I can show it. This is Voices Like This is an anthology that has 20 stories from 20 different StoryForge authors. Each story is one of these windows, and you can see a little bit. They're very different. We have sci-fi, fantasy. We have LGBTQ representation. We have stories about transness. We have stories about parenthood. We have a story about an MLM. I love that one so much. We have stories with children as main characters, and we have stories with the whole like old washed up hero trope. We definitely have a story for each person here, and I really like this book. So yeah, definitely check out Voices Like This. Definitely check out Storyforge. Definitely check out the 30K in 30 Days Circle and the tag for 30K in 30 days on Storyforge is just 30K in 30 days 2025, and you're going to be able to find the stories we read here and so much more, including the one that I am writing for 30K in 30 days that I want everyone to like. So, thank you for everything. Thank you for being here. I'm going to shut up. Sabrina, do you want to say goodbye?
Uh, yeah, I guess goodbye. I really, really enjoyed seeing this work. I definitely want to make this a regular thing that we do because, holy crap, I love reading books. That's part of why I founded StoryForge, and I know there's a lot of amazing stuff on the site, and it's nice to have like an actual work excuse to go look for it, you
Exactly.
know?
Perfect.
So
Okay. Bye bye,
wonderful.
everyone. Thank you for everything. See you the next time.